Five, four, three, two, one.
So my name's Hollie Haines. I'm a contemporary folk musician. I live in London. I have been here for a year now, and I just released my new album, Letters to My Last Love.
So are you originally from London, Hollie?
No, I'm originally from Cambridge. So I grew up there, then I moved to Leeds, which is up in the north, for 3 years, and then I came down to London. I moved in with one of my brothers. But I've grown up quite close to London. My dad used to live here, so I spent a lot of my time. So I know the city quite well.
Oh, and how did you get the title Letters to My Last Love?
So I love writing letters to people. And when I was with the person who I wrote the album about, I used to write to him a lot when we weren't together. If I'd gone home to visit my family, I didn't see him for a couple of weeks. And there's a line in the second song on the album that says, "I would write you letters you stopped reading in the end," because when we got to the end of our relationship, he stopped opening the letters I sent him. So that's kind of my way of kind of saying what it is, that the album's made up of open letters that he didn't let me say what I want to say to him, so I just wrote them into songs instead.
Ah, so that's how the album was created.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
How many songs do you have on the album?
Seven.
Seven.
So it's like a mini LP, but it feels more like an album than an EP in the way it progresses, and the story behind it feels a lot more coherent and a lot more together than just 5 songs I've chosen.
Right. Do you have a favorite song?
Yes. I Got Through Babe, which is the 5th song, and it's like the first kind of happy and positive song on the album. After you go through all the kind of horrible stuff when you lose someone, it really reminds me of that nice feeling when you feel like the light again, and you feel like there's a ray of sunshine kind of ahead. And yeah, I love all the words in that song that I chose.
Where did you record the album?
So I recorded it kind of all over the place. So there's 2 tracks. The 2 opening tracks were recorded in my friend's bedroom, and then he produced it from there. 2 tracks were recorded in a studio in Leeds that I've used before and I love. And then 3 tracks were recorded in a converted garage, which is now a studio. And I definitely preferred the kind of home studio vibe. So the garage that's converted was a producer friend of mine, Lauren, who I worked with. And she works out there every day, and it's got a sofa in, and she calls it the den, and it's got this really homely feel, and I love it. And it was my favourite recording experience, so we had a lot of fun there.
When creating the album, were most of the songs pre-written and recorded before you went into the studio, or did you do most of the work in the studio?
So all the songs were written before I went into the studio, but I recorded as I went along. So my first recording session was in last December, and then I had another one in January, then March, and then May. So I wrote the songs over the last year, and then I took them, when I finished them, I booked a day in the studio and took them in. But they definitely, especially the ones I did with Lauren in the den, they definitely developed from her influence. So I had the song, I had the lyrics and the melody, but the instrumentation and the arrangement, I definitely will give her credit for, because she brought the songs to life.
Right. Did you have any features on the album by chance?
So it's not kind of features that are strong enough to have like another artist kind of be credited for, but I definitely could not have done this by myself. I had a lot of collaborators.
Right.
So I had some writing partners. 2 of the tracks are co-writes. One of my friends who's a musician, he sang on one of the tracks, and my band who I work with are my best friends. So, all my friends are playing, the cello and the electric guitar and the bass and the drums. They're all my favourite people who I got to work with for it, which was amazing.
Right. Do you play any instruments?
Yes, so I play acoustic guitar. So all the acoustic guitar on the album is me. And on all the tracks except for Since You've Been Gone, I do my own backing vocals as well.
How long have you played the guitar?
Since I was 14, so
wow.
8 years.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not as good as I should be for having been played it for 8 years, but I have been able to play for 8 years.
And I see that I was watching a lot of your YouTube videos. I kind of
Yeah.
I love watching your YouTube videos.
Oh, thank you.
Just the environment alone, just that you kind of set yourself within. Is that something that you enjoy doing, performing?
Yeah, it's very important for me to have the right environment when I'm performing, because I treat my performances a lot like storytelling. If I don't feel like I can just play and not kind of talk in between the songs, and I don't feel like I get the right experience when I'm playing in an environment where people aren't listening, which is why I favour smaller intimate gigs, so like living room concerts. I work a lot with Sofa Sounds, and I do a lot of smaller venues where I'd rather fill out a tiny venue and have people listening than kind of play a massive place that no one really is paying attention to, for sure.
Yeah, I seen that you played the Strawberry Fair.
Yeah, I played Strawberry Fair. That was my first big gig, actually, just before I left Cambridge. So that was like a bit of a Kickstarter for me, and I loved that. That was really good fun.
All right. Do you have any favorite pieces of equipment when you're performing?
So I have a microphone. It's a beta mic, which I absolutely love, an SM58 beta, and it just is perfect for my voice because it just balances out all the different tones really perfectly. And I just bought a new guitar. I bought an acoustic Gibson guitar, which I'm just in love with. It makes everything so much easier. It just makes playing feel like no effort at all. And I also have a really lovely mahogany Martin, which is just gorgeous for writing on. And yeah, I'm a big fan of the guitars I have. I don't have as many guitars as a lot of, I know, musicians do. I have two that I love, and I'd much rather have two very special ones, and they are both very special to me. In February, I'm going on tour. February, March time, I'm booking for tour at the moment, so I'll be going back around Europe and London and back up to Leeds, hopefully. And I miss gigging so much when I go onto the writing and studio side of things, and I love being in the studio, but nothing quite matches up to gigging. I was actually up in Leeds on Monday, and I played a gig there, which was really good fun, because I spent 3 years there, and I have so many friends who came out and watched me, and it was a really special night.
Oh, nice. So you actually have a tour coming up in 2019.
Yes. So I'm looking to do it late winter, early springtime. So yeah, February, March. I've got a couple of dates booked in London and Brighton already, and I'm kind of in the works of getting a few booked in the Netherlands and hopefully in Denmark as well. So I'd love to go back to Europe.
Any goals of yours outside of touring this coming spring? I would say, any goals that you have?
So I have kind of something that's in the works at the moment. In my head, I am working on a pop-up event to kind of relaunch the album in January, which is exciting, but I am looking forward from this album. I want to bring out a single that I've produced myself, so I'm looking at how I can do that, because producing isn't my first, second or third skill. It's something that doesn't come naturally to me, but it feels like the next kind of landmark I want to conquer is to release a self-produced song. So that's hopefully going to be on the books for next spring.
And what is your social media so people can reach you and purchase the album?
So my website is holliehaines.com. It's just my name, and all my socials are linked from there. But my album, all my merchandise on Bandcamp. My Instagram is where I live, basically. I spend all my time on Instagram, and that's _HollieH. And yeah, that's where all of my news and my videos and everything comes through my Instagram first. I love it there.
And on your website, you actually have merch also.
Yeah, I just got merch, and it's really exciting. I nearly cried the day it arrived because I love it so much.
Yes.
I've got t-shirts with my face on, and I've got notebooks and tote bags, and then I've got copies of the album.
Yes.
And I'll be getting a new wave of merchandise in January to go alongside the pop-up event as well.
Well, thank you for everything, Hollie. Is there any last words that you would like to say to the people?
I mean, I feel like this album, you can tell more than any of my other music how much work and love has been put into it. So I put a lot of myself into it and a lot of my experiences. So, you know, if there's anyone who's kind of going through a bit of a rough time, going through a breakup, or they've lost someone, I really do hope that they can find some peace in the words that I've written, like I found when I wrote them. Thank you so much for chatting to me. Lovely to speak to you.
No problem. Stay in touch, please do.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Definitely, you too. And I'll speak to you soon.
Sure thing.